Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Backfire Simsport TV. I'm Clyde Whiting, and tonight we are back in GT4 TCR action, round 9 from the fantastically awkward, tricky, tight and short Knockhill circuit in Scotland. In the booth with me tonight, I have Mr. Yaz, not Yaz. Good evening.
Good evening, everybody.
And on the wheels of steel, doing all the magic that you see on your screens, it's Mr. Sam Boozin. Good evening.
Good evening, everybody.
So, Yaz, we have been here already this season with the V8s, and I must admit they were a lot more, shall we say, in control and sensible than I expected. However, we've got, what have we got? 8, 9 GT4s and 15 TCRs around this track tonight. We know we've got some very classy drivers, but is that a recipe for disaster?
It's not called Knockhill for nothing. I have a feeling we're going to see some knocking going on about this evening. You can see from the pictures these cars are bouncing all over the curbs. Yeah, it's just one of those tracks. It's short, it's quick. Multi-class is going to be fun. I think the guys are ready to go. But I do feel there's going to be a lot of action, which is not going to involve wheel-to-wheel racing. Put it that way.
What do we think on lap times? There isn't really what you would call a considerable straight for the GT4s to stretch their legs. Is this possibly, with the possible carnage thrown in as well, and all the trouble that comes with maybe overtaking lap cars, is this one of those tracks that we could possibly see a TCR as an overall winner?
It's one of those tracks where you could see the TCRs overtaking the GT4s as a lap car. It is just one of those things. I mean, if we talk about mistakes every week, and if you make a mistake here, the lap is so short, you can very quickly find yourself lapped down. To get it back from there is going to be tough because, as you can see from the times on the board, the quickest TCR is a little bit faster than the slowest GT4. So it's not a case of just driving past. We're so used to seeing the GT4s just whirls past the TCRs. It's not going to be the case around here. So yeah, like you say, traffic and multi-class racing is going to really be tested here tonight.
Yeah. So let's look back at last week, round 8 at Silverstone. I was stuck in traffic and missed the action live. But Wobbly Kneecaps took away the win in GT4 with Chris Shaw in second and Jamie Wilson in third. Sam Blees took away the win in TCR with Spencer McCarthy in second and Stephen Lucky Walker in third. So that means Chris Needham still leads the way in the GT4s with Jamie Wilson second, Stefan Goebel third. In TCR, Spencer McCarthy leads the way with Sam Blees in second and Gary Craig in third. In the team standings, Alpine Stars Geodesic Racing are well ahead in that with RWC Black in second and BSTV Esports Pink in third. Driver of the meeting currently going to Chris Needham with 6 votes. Sam Blees in second with 3, and Michael Gray and Carl Hardy are both on 2, and then we have a number of drivers on 1 vote. Head to head, we are now in semi-final action, and the quarterfinals were quite interesting. So Matt Elmore got through at the expense of Roger Morton. Sam Blees got through, Spencer McCarthy got through at the expense of Sam Blees, and David Ayres got through at the expense of Shane Powell. Gary Craig and Stephen Walker couldn't be separated on points, couldn't be separated on positions, couldn't be separated on incident points. So they had a fight and Gary Craig won through. So GT4s are back in it now. So we have Matt Elmore now takes on Gary Craig in the first TCR semi-final. Spencer McCarthy takes on David Ayres in the second TCR semi-final. Chris Needham takes on Stefan Goebel in the first GT4 semi-final, and Tyler Newitt, who's not here because he's at work, takes on Kylie Haddington in the second GT4 semi-final. So that is probably going to be a bye for Kylie Haddington, which is going to see him in the final. So back to tonight, Yaz. As our regulars know, it is a 60-minute race. We are going to clock up a considerable amount of laps tonight. There could be cars with considerable amounts of damage as well. So we may see cars pitting for fuel and tyres. We may see cars pitting for damage. We may even see, and I predict we will see, cars getting a drive-through penalty. Because we all know when they hit 15 incident points, it's a drive-through. Yaz, what are you expecting tonight, deep down, in all seriousness? Are these guys going to behave themselves, or is it going to go wrong?
In all seriousness, I have a feeling that it's going to be. We always talk about the quality and the leanness of racing, but I think around here we're going to have some trouble. I think if we get 75% of the starters finishing this race, I think that would be a good number. I think the racing is going to be tough. I think that I do see the GT4s and the TCRs getting mixed up with each other. It's one of those tight tracks that's just, there's some corners here that are just unforgiving, completely unforgiving, and if you're going to get stuck anywhere, you're going to go off anywhere, you're going to be in that traffic. It's such a short lap that what do we have here? How many entries do we have here tonight? 15 TCRs, 8 GT4s. That's 23 cars on a 50-second lap. So that's 2 seconds between each car. So that's not much space and room to maneuver and to even look behind you. So it's gonna be fast and furious, and we're gonna see we're definitely gonna see action.
Yeah, and assuming there's nothing calamitous happens in the first few laps, it's going to be one of those tracks where every piece of track is going to have a car on it at some point. And I suppose, if the GT4s do get away and they do manage to lap the TCRs, the race winner, Yaz, might not be particularly the fastest driver out there, but more likely the driver that can handle the traffic better.
Yeah, it's gonna come down to that. Looking at the times, Weber's pulled the gap on those GT4s from the rest of the field. They're nearly half a second, and then the TCRs again split by nothing. So it's going to come down to exactly what you're saying. It's going to, can you keep it clean? Can you keep the car going? Can you keep it on track? And you should get a good finish.
Yeah, but yeah, as you just pointed out, Wobbly has currently in qualifying gone 4/10 quicker than Stefan Goebel. But it's not a track you can run and hide, is it? At some point you're going to come up against backmarkers. Now, it may not be in the first half of the race, but you're pretty much guaranteed as soon as you pit, you are going to come out in traffic, and at that point, it's win it or bin it, really, isn't it?
Yeah, well, like we said, it's there's going to be a car on every part of this track at all times. So there's going to be traffic whether you're pitting or not. There's going to be traffic. So I think by the time when the GT4 the TCRs are getting to the to the green flag. The GT4s will be right behind them already. That's how tight it is around here and how short this lap is. So, yeah, exactly that. It's going to be some fast-paced stuff around here.
Yeah, and we've seen in the past the TCRs, to be fair to them, at the tracks where the GT4s definitely lap them, they do their very, very best to either stay on the racing line so that the GT4s know where to go, or when given an opportunity they move well off the racing line and let the GT4s through. But we've seen such close battles in the TCRs. The GT4s, again I say, if they come up to lap them, it's every chance that they're going to come up behind a battle pack of TCRs, which is going to make it even more difficult for them to get past.
And again, we're talking about this times, and I keep saying it, and I mean, look at that. You're looking at a second of a difference between the GT4s and the TCRs. It's not just a case of moving aside and driving by. The TCRs will need to, slow down significantly if for GT4 to get past. It's not an easy overtake and I mean, we're watching this on sort of onboard camera here, and you can see it's not a place that lends itself to just driving by. So the managing traffic is going to be really important for both the GT4s and the TCRs.
Well, I think we have got a hell of a race on our hands tonight. Evening to Sir Alan Toon on the chat, who says Knockhill is going to be fun. Yes, I suppose that depends on how you describe fun. He's also said there is no let up for an hour. This is a demanding track and will challenge all the drivers. I can't agree more. I'm looking forward to Kylie Haddington having his customary spin. I'm also looking forward to, I have a feeling we're going to have some, at least one very good slow-mo of Mr. Bingham doing something daft. But we'll have to wait and see. 12.5 minutes into this qualifying session. Now, things have been changing all over the place, which is why I haven't mentioned it yet. But currently, Wobbly Kneecaps is on provisional pole for your GT4s. Stefan Goebel is currently sitting in second, and Jamie Wilson currently in third. In TCR, Sam Blees is currently your pole sitter with a couple of minutes left. Stephen Walker is in second place, and he is in a geodesic sandwich because Spencer McCarthy is currently in third. One interesting thing looking at the current qualifying leaderboard is our quickest TCR driver, Sam Blees, is quicker than our slowest GT4 driver, which is Rick Hedgehog. So that could just, throw a little bit of light on what we're looking at tonight and the possibilities of a TCR driver taking away the overall win. Although I do think, Yaz, they are going to need a little bit of carnage within the GT4 field for that dream to become a reality.
Yeah, the guys have been following the chat to the guys in the Discord channel, and they've been finishing so high up the field in the TCRs in those races ahead of so many GT4s, so that is really a possibility. But yeah, it will take a little bit of carnage in the front pack of the GT4s at least. Looking at those times there, the guys at the front there are looking like they've got some really good times in them. So unless something happens up front there, it would really take a lot for TCR to take away the overall win. Just looking at those times, I mean, yes, we've got Wobbly a little bit, quite a bit away from the rest of the field. But then the next three are all on top of each other. They're all at 50.1s, just being separated by a few 100ths of a second there. So we might be in for some a good battle at the front of the GT4s as well. We know that Wobbly likes to play games and save fuel and keep the pack together. So we might see, if he's in the lead, he might do that, and we might. It looks like we could see a four-way battle at least in the front. We know Chris Needham has kept himself in the pack. He's just a little bit behind him. So, if those five can looking at those times, if 5-6 of them can stay together and keep it on track, we won't have to see those problems that you're talking about, the TCRs getting through. So let's hope that we can get some clean racing in there.
Yeah, a couple of those TCR drivers a bit further down the field than I would have expected. Gary Craig in 8th, Michael Gray in 9th. Although Michael has been very, shall we say, verbal on his dislike of this track. So, yeah, it's I don't know. This is going one way or the other. And we tend to think the worst when we come to these sort of places, and the drivers give us the best. So we're just going to have to see what happens. Anyway, we have got your official starting grid. So in GT4, Wobbly Kneecaps goes off on pole position. Chris Shaw in 2nd, Jamie Wilson 3rd. Stefan Goebel is in 4th, with Chris Needham in 5th, Arnaud Chenonnier in 6th, Kylie Haddington in 7th, and Rick Hedgehog in 8th. Over to you, Yaz.
Well, in the TCRs, we have Sam Blees for Alpine Geodesic in 1st place. Then in 2nd, we've got Stephen Hawke for Spectre 6 Purple. Spencer McCarthy again, Alpine Stars Geodesic in 3rd. Shane Powell in 4th for Spectre 6. Russell Kyle for Spectre 6 in 5th. Matt Almore, Spectre 6 in 6th. Carl Hardy, Safeguard by Result in 7th. Gary Craig in very unknown territory in 8th for BSTV Esport Green. Michael Gray in 9th place. Rob Venn 10th. Ollie Rix 11th. Pete Bingham 12th. In 13th place we've got Roger Morton. David is in 14th, and JB De Jure in 15th place.
Yeah, and evening to Olivier on the chat, tuning in from Guadeloupe. That's just how international we roll, baby.
Well, we've got a few drivers from all over the world in this race. So I mean, we've got Weber from
Mars,
from the Netherlands, Goebel from Germany. Where is the Hedgehog from? Also Netherlands, right? We've got a couple of Americans in the mix there. I think JB De Jure is from America. Am I right? If I'm not mistaken.
You could be right. Yes.
So we've
Bingham is from Pluto.
So we've got a good mix there. I see the TCRs are giving the GT4 some space.
It's not for long.
So the GT4s will be you should see them in the background of the TCRs there very soon. They might just catch up.
Know whether to watch or shut my eyes. I'm just glad I'm not driving the safety car around here.
You would do a Kylie around here, wouldn't you?
You know it. So GT4s are heading down the Knott Straight.
Some good photo opportunities here, team side by side, first three cars in the TCRs.
Yeah, we've already seen some good photos in Discord of cars getting some air, shall we say. Okay, so up to the hairpin, and I think Wobbly will go. He's gone.
Chris Shaw was
yeah, he was very wide, wasn't he?
Very wide into that turn then, and dropped the position there, but yeah, they're off. Wobbly's gone at the front, it seems, and yeah, there's turn 1. It looks like everybody in the GT4's got through in turn 1. The TCR is now following suit, and Sam Blees has also pulled away at the front. Everyone's coming down the straight safely. Let's see if they can make it through turn 1. And some cars going a little bit slowly and tentatively through there. Hard on the brakes there to avoid going into the cars in front of him. Someone's gone off. Who's that? Ollie Ricks? No. Who's that? It's sitting on the side.
No, I think that's Rick
Fuller.
Hedgehog, isn't it?
No, that's the first GT4 off track, and he's going to be behind the full pack of TCRs now. That's going to be a lonely race for him at trying to get through there.
Yeah, a lot of sensible driving going on at the moment.
Gary Craig trying to take the long way around there. He's already made his way past Carl Hardy from the start. Oh, some action there.
I
don't see any damage on that car, so it looks like he may have done it all on his own. Could have done it all on his own there, which we've come to know him for.
Yeah, too hot, hard on the brakes. Car said no.
Yeah. So yeah, so at the front we've got the geodesy cars of Sam Blees and Spencer. Yeah,
so
they made it through.
Spencer has obviously got past Stephen Walker. Gary Craig seems to be showing a bit more race pace than he did qualifying pace.
Yeah, and Carl Hardy's also in that fight there with him. You know, we've seen a lot of Carl Hardy and Russell Carl stuck together with Matt Elmore. The three of them have been stuck together in that sort of best of the rest back there. But now they find themselves in the mix with Michael Gray and Gary Craig, not quite on the pace in qualifying. So we've got quite a bit of action. We see Stephen Goebel now taking the inside line on Chris Shaw going wide again, very wide.
Yeah, I know Chris, I don't know what he's done. I don't know if it's something to do with his sex change operation that he had, but he was saying that he's very bruised down one side of his body, and it's very uncomfortable sitting in his rig. So whether that's got anything to do with him dropping down the order, steady boys.
It just sounds like some racing driver excuses there.
I think he's bought Bingham's book, Volume 1, to be honest.
Look at the best time. Jamie and Wobbly on the exact same one.
That's a double purple lap there. So yeah, maybe Jamie. That is a second of qualifying time, obviously on higher fuel load now. But yeah, look how tight that is, and like you say, Gary Craig, Stephen Goebel's not pipped him for that fastest lap time. And Chris Shaw has listened to us, and obviously there's nothing wrong with those bruises because he's just put in the fastest lap time. And Gary Craig has done it in the TCR.
Ooh, wide there for Michael Gray as well, giving Carl Hardy a position. I don't actually expect Carl Hardy to finish, if I'm honest. I've never been to Knockhill. It's certainly on my bucket list, but I am reliably informed that there are a number of good food outlets there. So let's say can't see Carl finishing this one, not once he gets the smell of food.
It's a nice RWC train going on there. What's that for 5th, 6th and 7th?
Michael Gray putting pressure back. He wants that position back from Carl Hardy. Alan Toon says, fear of drive-through already. Sensible heads-on so far. Not going to last. Jamie Wilson putting the pressure on wobbly kneecap. Stefan Goebel is deciding, hello, I can have a look at this as well. And he's lost close, yeah. David Ayres. I believe he's having internet problems.
it's a juicy little battle up front here in the GT4s. Wobbly Kneecap's just holding up the pack here, and all of them punching together. Really tight racing. Chris Shaw looks like he's wanting to come back now into this race. They're all looking very racy and all look like they're trying to put each other off and trying to make some moves around a very tight track. So it's nice to see that happening 5 minutes in. Hopefully they can sustain that for another 55 minutes.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was Chris Shaw, but I remember talking to one of the GT4 drivers, and to be honest, it could have been Jamie Wilson, but I just can't remember. But they was telling me that they just can't drive the car on cold tyres. Once they've done 2 or 3 laps, yeah, that's an internet failure or something there.
Yes.
Yeah, once they've done 3 or 4 laps and the tyres have got some heat in them, then it's fine. That was Michael Gray going wide again, losing another place to Rob Venn.
Yeah, so I mean, not to point out the obvious, a lot of these short tracks are all about just trying to getting into the rhythm of each corner. Racing is all about this repetitiveness of doing each lap consistently. But especially around these short tracks, you just have to get into your own rhythm. Hit your braking markers, hit your turning points and your apexes. And it just needs to take care of itself rather than you trying to make things happen, especially on a short track like this where if you push yourself a little bit too hard, it's really going to cost you. So hopefully they can just settle in and get into that and find their rhythms and get into those rhythms and just keep going.
No, I always find that harder to do on a short track. Especially in something like like this TCR field where there's always somebody to race. The green mist comes down, not the red mist, obviously. And as a car there, I'm going to race it. I know I'm supposed to be getting into a rhythm, but not happening. However, at a track like Daytona, when the cars have a chance, sometimes they get a little bit more spread. You're right, Yaz, that's what you should do, but the practice of doing that is very, very difficult. David confirming on the chat that he's PC froze.
Yeah, David is definitely not at Stephen Walker's luck when it comes to staying connected.
Well, David needs to buy a new PC. He's the richest man in Suffolk.
Yeah, but getting back to that conversation, it's easy for us to sit in the booth here and speak about what needs to be done in theory, but it's exactly like you say, when you're out there on track, it's just you just can't help yourself. You want to be going forward. You want to be pushing yourself further than what you can do, just to try and get that little bit extra, a little bit of edge over whoever you're racing.
Yeah, that's the beauty of sitting in the booth, isn't it? Because if I was out there, I would be settling into a rhythm and taking it easy. And I know I wouldn't be, but that's what we can tell the viewers.
Yeah, well, that's what I used to do when I was racing, just settle into a rhythm, and that's probably why I was always 15 or 20 seconds back. But at least I was in my own rhythm.
It was a bit of a slow rhythm, I'll give you that. Like a funeral march type of rhythm.
Yeah. So, that was a different line. That was a different line through there, but coming in hot. You can see these corners are coming in thick and fast, up and down. There's these two excuses of straights on this track. I say excuses because they're so short, but the corners are just thick and fast and not. There's no easy corners around here. All of them takes. You need to be 100% focused around here. So, even though it might seem like a 50-second lap, you really do need to be on it 100% of the time.
Right, so Spencer McCarthy, is he genuinely pressuring his teammate Sam Blease, or is it because he is under attack from Stephen Walker behind? Although Stephen Walker was extremely late on the brakes there.
Yeah, I think we'll get what we've come to expect here. This is going to go on for a long time. These TCRs, we know that pack at the front they love being attached at the hip, and so until we get to the pit stops, it may mix things up, but it may not. That's not going to end anytime soon.
11 minutes in, and the GT4s are catching the back of the TCR field.
Yeah, that's what we said. We were waiting for.
Lot of curb there for Jamie Wilson.
I was about to say we see they really are getting some air around here. Hitting those curbs is as hard as they can there. Jumping over them, it should make for some really good pictures. Oh, and Jamie's trying to make a move on Wobbly.
Yeah, that has got very good drive out of the corner, hasn't it?
Yeah, now Stephen Goebel's trying to make a move on, but he's very far on that outside line. Could he do an in and out here? Get an run out that corner?
Under pressure from Stefan, isn't he now?
Yep.
Chris Shaw just sitting there thinking, well, let's see what you two do. I might have a bit of this.
Yeah, and now, like you say, these TCRs are gonna get into this now, and that's gonna be something to watch, something fun to watch now, to see how they're gonna make their way through this. It's definitely gonna break up this GT4 pack. I don't think they're just gonna pull out of the way, and it's gonna be easy that all four of them is gonna be able to pass in one section of the track. So we'll see this. I'm sure we're gonna see this GT4 pack of four split up a little bit now.
Yeah, JB's a very sensible driver. Pete Bingham not so much. Well, Pete and Wobbly will be in the same chat and talking to each other.
I don't think that will make a difference.
Oh well, he's actually caught him at just the right place, hasn't he? It's more to the point, did the other two get past? You see Jamie and Stefan past.
Yeah, we see that
little
gap.
Bit of a gap.
Yeah, that gap has opened up a bit. I'm sure Wobbly will pull them back together now. He'll play his mind games and pull the pack back together. Just save some fuel and see how long he can go here. These guys are also, like I said earlier, they just love being attached to each other's hips. They're not going anywhere.
No, I think if anything, Chris Shaw lost out the most. There's a bit of a gap now between himself and Stefan Goebel.
Ooh, this is getting colourful here now.
Yeah, who was that? That was Roger Morton, was not playing at all and just got right out of the way. Was it? Yeah, it was Roger, yeah. And then Ollie Ricks.
Ooh, that's taking curb.
See, they've not had it too bad yet, the GT4s. Yeah, the next group of cars is 3 cars. It's when they get into the 1st to 7th battle that it becomes very interesting. As you saw there from that shot, you know, from Sam Blees back to Russell Powell in 7th is about nothing.
Yeah, they're all within less than a second of each other, and then there's a gap to Carl Hardy, and then there's another. That's another pack of 3 within a second of each other. So, yeah, when these TCRs come up to those, when the GT4s come up to those TCRs, that's where, you know, someone's race is going to have to be sacrificed there.
Well, Sam Blees knows he only needs to take out 7 GT4s to get an overall win. So still a little bit of daylight between the GT4 leader and 8th, 9th and 10th in TCR, which is Michael Gray, Rob Venn and Carl Hardy. Still going, not got hungry yet. Jamie Wilson right back on the tail of Wobbly Kneecaps in GT4. Wobbly looked like he felt the need to go defensive into the hairpin.
Yeah, these GT4s are spreading out now. We saw that pack of 4 earlier. It seems to be that Wobbly and Jamie are up front, right on each other, and then there's a little bit of a gap to Stefan Goebel, but a bigger gap to Chris Shaw now.
Well, I expect the TCR pit window is going to open around lap 24, 25, so it'd be interesting to see if any of them want to try the undercut but risk coming out in traffic. Or do they think they may lose some time with the GT4s coming in, so they pit instead of losing time? There's a lot of interesting decisions coming up for these drivers. So GT4's on the back of that 8th, 9th, 10th battle now. Another opportunity for either Wobbly to increase his lead or Jamie Wilson to find a way past. That's worked out nice for Wobbly. Oh, Michael Gray stayed out wide for Jamie Wilson as well, so no real advantage on that overtake, although this one might be different. Yeah, Jamie couldn't quite get in. Now he is. Stefan's going with him, but he had to get on the brakes hard there. Bit of side to side. Stefan Goebel and Rob Venn. Ooh, leaders are battling. Stefan Goebel is off.
Yeah, that was a battle with the TCR there, and it's exactly what we were saying. It's not. Ooh.
Oh, nudgy, nudgy.
Yeah, like you're saying, it's not an easy pass around here. If you get it in the wrong place, there's just nowhere to just drive by. You still need to work for that pass, even in the supposedly more powerful car.
So that little off. Interesting to see if we can, Sam, what happened to Stefan. We see the side-by-side contact here.
That's the first one.
Bit of curb. Oh yeah,
cut,
just
yeah.
totally offline, wasn't he? So
Yep.
yeah.
That's cost him his third place there. He was doing well in third place. Oh, is that Kylie doing Kylie?
Hey! All by myself. I wanna.
Oh, it wasn't
spin.
Kylie. I thought it was Kylie. It was,
Oh
Christina.
no, that's not on. I wasted all that singing.
Wait. It was
hang
synchronized.
on. Hang on. Come on, Mr. Cameraman. What's going on?
They both.
Please tell me I
both
didn't
been
waste
up.
all that singing.
Yeah, at the same time.
It was exactly the same.
There's only one missing out, is Arno, which is a bit frustrating for the team.
Yeah,
it was a bit of
Come
a,
on.
got plenty
it
of
was
time.
a bit of a duet there, rather than a single Kylie. It's not a solo act there on that one.
Right, this is about to get interesting with the GT4s catching this lead pack. Jamie Wilson still sat behind wobbly kneecap, so he's not found a way past yet. As we pointed out, Chris Shaw back up into third place after Stefan's off track. Here we go.
Oh, same corner. Oh, some bumpy tracks
Just
there.
need him again. Well, that's worked nice for Wobbly. Then he's got to be patient now. No way through here. This is his next opportunity. The dive down the inside. No, he's being patient. Right, into the hairpin. Or before the hairpin. Right, how many cars can Wobbly get between him and Jamie? Looks like 2. There's the John Deere Honda. That's 6th position. Benny Wilson showing how to be patient in traffic. And yes, he may be losing a little bit of time to Wobbly, but not as much time as he would do if he crashed. Oh, there we go, Stephen Walker. I wondered if somebody would do this rather than lose some times in a GT4 battle. That could work out very interesting. Surprised he didn't drag Shane Powell, his teammate, with him though.
Yeah, it looks like Wobbly's getting the rub of the green here with the traffic. You know, managing it very well, getting through the pack.
I was just about to say that. Something has happened to Michael Gray as well. He's left the session. He left the pits and then jumped to the pits. Roger Morton in the pits now. So, where did... Let's have a look what sort of traffic Mr. Walker came out in. Not too bad.
All over the back of Ollie Rix here, pushing him along. We're looking at Rob Wynn and was that Rick Verhoog in the black Porsche?
Yes, Rick's in the council paint.
Okay, so Stephen Walker was the first one in, trying to do something different. He did come out behind Ollie Rix. He has passed him now, so he's got a bit of space between himself and Pete Bingham, who's the next car up the road.
Yeah, I actually think that's worked out quite well for Lucky Walker.
You know, he may have lost just a bit of time behind Ollie Rix there, but it may just have worked out well. We're looking at this battle now. TCRs, the GT4s are now. Looks like the GT4s are well clear of all of them. So now it's wait and see time.
Craig. See, looking at that nice piece of clear track behind the TCRs, I would be seriously tempted to go in the pits now. Have we got any takers this time? Not looking likely. Who am I looking at in ninth? Pete Bingham. Then is Stephen Walker, so he's up with Kylie Haddington at the moment. Stefan Goebel first to blink in GT4.
Yeah, we saw him have that little bit of a incident, excursion off track there for a short while. So he may have, I don't know if he picked up any damage. He did also hit the side of Michael Gray. You know, so he might just trigger that fast repair that he's got there, just to make sure everything's aligned and straight again on that car. But yeah, he's the first one in, and let's see where he comes out and if he can get back into the pack.
Spencer McCarthy has managed to pull a bit of a gap, 2 seconds over Sam Blease in TCR. The GT4s going through the TCR leaders seems to have split that pack up, because 1st to 7th you could have thrown a blanket over. Now we've got 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and then a gap to 7th. Chris Needham in the pits, Rob Venn in the pits.
Yeah, it's around that time now, pit stop time. Around the halfway mark of this race, so we should see everyone making their moves now. Unless, it might be some that are running longer, but I think the majority we'll see coming in around about this time.
Yeah, Arno Chenonnier in. The John Deere Honda of Gary Craig is in. Which one of these two are going to blink? Nobody yet. Chris Shaw's done well as well. He's brought himself back into this lead battle.
Oh, someone's parked it.
Yeah, that is Rick Hedgehog. Come on, Jamie, do something different. Yeah, good man, good man. Sound advice from Uncle Clyde as usual. Chris Shaw in as well. Will the crowd go wild? You'll all be pleased to know cake has been delivered. In the meantime, Sam Blease has pitted from 2nd place. I'm just waiting for my timing screen to sort itself out. But I am fairly confident that he's around 3.5 seconds in front of Stephen Walker.
Oh, someone's pulled out of the way of Wobbly there. Yeah, things are all getting mixed up here. GT4s, TCRs, the same pieces of track, and yeah, they gonna need to figure out how to just sort themselves out without causing too much havoc for themselves.
Yeah, I don't know if Sam can quickly get the track map up, but we did say there would be cars on every part of this circuit at some point. We're not far off that at the moment.
Oh, I'm spinning around. Move out of my way. Here we go.
Not 100% sure you would get a single in the charts, Yaz, if I'm honest.
Well, I was just trying to do my best impression of Kylie there. It's the best I could do. Obviously, I have nothing on Mr. Addington.
Yeah, did you put a blonde wig and high heels on for that? So Spencer McCarthy has been in top 3 at the moment in TCR. Shane Powell, Matt Elmore, Russell Cowell. None of those. I'm just about to say none of those have been in, but Matt Elmore has just come in. Wonder how many of these drivers are getting towards the drive-through.
Sam is usually the one who can tell us this information.
So Wobbly is in. There's Jamie Wilson.
So really at the
Wobbly's
pit
on the
exit.
move.
It's an easy gap there for Wobbly.
Well, there's one driver at 13 incidents. The next one is on 9, then 7, 6, 6, 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0.
Not too bad then.
That's not your phone number, is it, Sam?
Well, you can try to call that, but yeah. Probably not my phone number, right? There's probably one or two more than there's drivers in the race, but you get the idea.
So Russell Cowell pits from the lead in TCR. Pete Bingham pits as well. So they are our last 2 pit stop takers. We are 38 minutes in. Ivan, is it Ivan? No, it's not Ivan, is it? On the chat. Bono, me braking's gone.
That's Rick.
Right, what trouble are these GT4 leaders going to get themselves into? Not a great deal at the moment. They have got Pete Bingham in front of them, which is always a worry.
Well, not a big deal, you said. They've probably got one of the worst one to pass on track, just in front of them.
Yes, I would be currently shouting at Pete, your left rear's flat, mate, get in the pits. So, yes, what can Jamie Wilson do about wobbly kneecaps? Anything?
Forget to brake and just punt him from behind off into a wall. That's probably his best bet.
Accidentally, obviously.
Yeah. No, obviously not intentionally. I don't mean intentionally. That's just by accident. Forget to brake. He's still quite a distance away though, so it's you just need to pull up a little bit closer before you can do that. But yeah, I think that with 20 minutes to go, Wobbly has controlled this race from the start, and I think what we're probably going to see him pull away at the front now and show some pace. He's just put in the purple lap, as we can see there, and I think we're going to see that purple lap time drop down even further now that we're into this last leg of this race now. Chris Shaw is found himself again in third place. We know Chris Shaw from way back. He's won a couple of these leagues back in the day. In the TCR, has he won the GT4s as well? I think he may have won one of the GT4 leagues as well, one of the seasons. So with that injury in inverted commas, he's found himself in another podium position. He's looked racy tonight with the likes of Jamie Wilson and Stefan Goebel. He has made a few mistakes, but he's still up there with another good result. 20 minutes to go. Let's see if they can all keep it together.
Busily getting my stats page up. This doesn't include this season because I update them at the end of the season. But Chris Shaw has won 21 races in this series. Obviously not this season. He's had 41 podiums and an average finish of 4th place, which takes into account every race that he's done in this series. We compare that with Pete Bingham, who has had 0 wins, 5 podiums, and an average finish of 7th. And just whilst I've got my stat page open, this is an interesting stat. So, total incidents up to and including season 6. The second highest number of incidents throughout all of those seasons is Tyler Newitt on 309. The top driver for collecting incidents, Yaz, has got 520. Who do you think that is?
I reckon if I was still racing this league, it would have been me.
But it's not.
But it's not. 500. Is that overall?
I can tell you've got 128, by the way.
Yeah, but that's in what, 1 season? 2 seasons?
One race, isn't it? Yeah, this is since the series started, a driver has collected 520 total.
I'm going to, considering it's from the beginning, I'm going to hazard a guess and say that it is Carl Hardy.
You are spot on, my friend.
That's a good call. If we take it down to average per race.
Average per race. Let's have a look at that. So, Mr. Hardy.
I know the one who's probably the highest is not racing with us anymore. I remember him. I just don't remember his name now.
Mr. Hardy's actually 9.
9 per race. Okay.
Yeah.
But that doesn't.
And Mr. Samai was only 6.
Yeah. No, I was a clean driver. But then again, I was always 15 seconds behind, so I really didn't need to have any. There was no cars around me to crash into. So, talking about crashes.
Oh, what's happened there?
Well.
What have you done,
I
Jamie
see
Wilson?
I see some really bad tire tracks there, tire marks.
We're going to find out. Lot of curb.
Ooh.
Oh, and then too much curb.
Yeah, he just sort of went over that completely. He didn't cut that one. He just went over it. It seemed with all four wheels. If you can see that.
Yeah, once it's
Can't really see
going,
from there.
there's no stopping it. Luckily, didn't get into that wall.
But that should put him, well, where is that? It puts him in 4th place off the podium because Shaw is now up there in Stefan Goebel.
Yeah.
But 7 seconds off the podium finish there for Jamie. I'm sure he's going to be really beating himself up over that.
And just to finish off our little stat session, I believe the driver that you are thinking of for the most incidents per race on 17 is Xavier Mamucha.
Yeah, just so you know, 17. If you're averaging 17, that's one drive-through per race, basically.
Yes. Ooh.
Anybody in this still driving in this series at the moment with the lowest amount of incidents?
Now you've got me looking. Let's have a look at the lowest incidents per race. Russell Cowell, 3.
Oh, that's good, eh? And he's done quite a few races.
Spencer McCarthy, 3. Rob Venn, 4. Chris Needham, 4.
Some good. I think between I remember when you were talking about Spencer up front and early on. He was hard racing and he made a few mistakes. But when he made a mistake, he made sure that he made a proper mistake. That put him out of the race. So, when he gets it right, he really does get it right, and that shows in those numbers that you're talking about there. And likewise for Chris Needham, especially this season. It really speaks to what we've seen. Keep it clean and you'll be up there. Who are we looking at here? Oops, what has happened there? I think all this talking about incidents is making everybody go a little bit. Same place.
It was carbon copy, wasn't it? Ooh. And Stefan Goebel has 3 wheels on his wagon.
And that puts Jamie Wilson back up onto the podium. And guess who else? Who else is going to be up in 3rd place again? Just the man we were talking about.
Yeah, nothing either driver could do about that, I don't think.
I'm sure there'll be a few curse words going on in those two helmets at the moment. That's unlucky, isn't it? But yeah, again, we've got our. I know we always talk. Oh, it's not Chris Needham. It's actually Arne Shananya up into 3rd place. I thought it would be, Chris Needham has had Stephen Hawker's luck this season. But yeah.
What do you reckon on a multi-21 there?
No, I don't think they'll multi-21 in this one. I think it's every man for himself. I don't think that Chris Needham would want to take the multi-21 either. I'm sure he'll be cheering his teammate on while racing his teammate from he'll try and catch him and put him under pressure, but I don't think it will be a case of let's move over and give me way. I think as much as these guys are in the same team, they cheer each other on and want the good results, especially the ones that are deserved.
Well, we're coming up on 10 minutes to go. Tyler Newitt has asked who has the most fuel saved all time. Tyler, get back to work.
You've done your bit for the environment, Tyler. Thank you very much.
Whilst we know he's alive, let's just have a look at his stats. Mr. Newitt, 19 wins up to this season, 37 podiums, average finishing position of 3rd, average incidents per race 8, and total incident points, as we said before, 309. So the 2nd worst driver in the series ever is what that says to me. Arno and Chris, what are you going to do? Chris Needham is currently on drop scores 8 points ahead of Jamie Wilson. Arno not in the running at all because he switched classes.
Well, looking at the times, it is dropping down, but I don't know if it's just because Chris is quicker than Arno at the moment, or on the whole. I mean, he's the championship leader at this stage, so you know he's just about caught all the way up to who's this in the middle, Chris Shaw now in between himself and.
Yeah, well, Chris Shaw is well out of position, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a lap down now. I think he's a lap down there, but I mean he's going to be on pace. You know, it's not just going to be a case of move over and let me by with the blue flag. I mean, I'd be surprised if he can't get, you know, if he unlaps himself from Arno here, and you know Chris might just take advantage of that as well. But I do think that Chris and Arno are going to race to the end. It's not going to be a multi-21 situation. I'm almost certain of that.
I'm not convinced. So Alan Toon says, I'm missing Tyler. I will add to that, said nobody ever.
What's happening here for the lower places? JB Dejoux and Roger Morton going for it, yeah. You know, we're getting into these last 7 minutes. You know, it's now or never. Everybody's wanting to make the move, but you know, they need to behave themselves around the leaders. I was about to say they need to still behave themselves.
I honestly thought Roger Morton was going to wipe out Wobbly then, and I was about to cheer.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, but I also like to say it. I was right at the beginning. I said if you keep it clean and keep it out of you know, incidents was going to come into it at this track, and once again it has. We saw that incident with Chris Shaw that's put him a full lap down. You know, and yeah, it's cost him.
Well, enough of the trumpet blowing when nobody likes a smart ass.
Can't help it.
Jamie Wilson, it is time to get the voodoo doll out. So Roger got past JB. Ollie Ricks next up to try and make a move. JB taking some funky lines there. Oh, hello. I've never seen that on there before. Not that I've looked. Dejoux Funeral Services.
Have you not seen that before?
No. Does that mean JB is an undertaker?
Or perhaps he's just saying...
Or is he an overtaker? Ha ha! Was the best bad joke ever?
What's in that cake? What's in that cake?
I'm going to have to call him the Undertaker now. He's going to be like a wrestler. Oh, it's great. We had another guy race with us who was an undertaker, and if Pete was here, he would tell me what his name was. I can't remember. Oh, that's going to bug me.
I've got one question now that you've pointed that out. Where does the body goes in that small Audi? Because I don't see any room.
You'll be surprised how big Audis are inside. I've had all sorts of shit in mine.
I won't reply to that. I will keep that for after the broadcast.
Are we going to get a battle for the lead in TCR? Can Sam Blease claw some of that gap back on teammate Spencer McCarthy? Is that Peter Bingham in front of him? I believe it is. Oh,
Oopsie.
yes. Oh, yes.
Oopsie.
Pete spins out of the way. This has got slow-mo written all over it.
Ooh.
Too much curb.
Here we go. Let's go for a ride.
It's going to hurt. Oh, no. Wall stopped.
Shortcut?
God, he was lucky. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh!
No such luck.
Bouncy, bouncy.
I think there was a dead body in that tire hole.
Yeah, no, we can see. Oh, he's shaking his back. Huh?
Thank you, Pete Bingham. It's been a while. So thank you for the entertainment. Here we go.
21.
Nope, this is a fight at least. He's not making it look as easy as he's doing a proper Weber and Vettel, making it look a little bit difficult at least.
Well, I won't say I told you so. Oh, I just did. Sorry. Okay, this is on. This is on. I think they've got 2 laps.
Is there multi-21 involved here as well?
Not a hope in hell. This is a TCR Championship battle. Has Stephen Walker got his lucky underpants on? This will be the final lap. Ooh, actually, will it?
No, I think 2 more for these guys.
Yeah, I was just looking at where Wobbly is, yeah.
Wobbly's
He's going to
behind.
get across the line, isn't he?
He's about to cross the line.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was close.
That was quite close.
So these two have probably got another one after this one. Wobbly hasn't got the checkers.
Then what gets called into question is who has fueled enough, or who has not fueled enough is more the question. Is there anyone who hasn't given enough to put in that extra lap? That's a bit wide there.
So Wobbly Kneecaps is going to take away another GT4 victory.
Clean race by Wobbly, no incidents. We can't say the same for any of the rest of the GT4 field.
So Spencer McCarthy, Sam Blease and Stephen Walker.
The overtaker, the undertaking overtaker, or the overtaking undertaker. I don't know. What are we saying?
He tried overtaking the Undertaker.
Yeah, something like that. And yeah, that's them finished. The GT4s have all crossed the line now. Near the leaders, the winners of the TCR are coming through. Spencer McCarthy, Sam Blease taking it away. 1-2 finish for Alpine Geodesic.
Yeah, that is everybody finished.
Really good result for Shane Powell there. But looking at the GT4 field, Weber Niekamp took it away from everybody. Win by over 24 seconds there. Jamie Wilson in second place. Chris Needham in third for RWC Racing Black. Good result for RWC. Arno Shananya in fourth. Kylie Harrington in fifth. Chris Shaw with the incident with Stefan Goebel in sixth place. Stefan Goebel not finishing in seventh. And then Rick Verhoog in eighth. He cleared off quite a while back.
Just wait for the official results to click over. And here we go. So Spencer McCarthy takes home the win in TCR for Alpine Stars Geodesic Racing, with teammate Sam Blease in second. Stephen Walker for Spectre 6 Purple in third, with Shane Powell, his teammate, in fourth. Gary Craig comes home fifth, with Matt Elmore in sixth. Russell Cowell seventh and Carl Hardy eighth. Rob Venn in ninth, Roger Morton in 10th. Pete Bingham in 11th, with JB Dejoux in 12th. Ollie Ricks was 13th, and then not finishing but classified 14th is Michael Gray, and David Ayres in 15th. So we are going to have to say goodbye to Yaz, because he's been a very naughty boy and it's his wife's birthday tomorrow, and I'm not going to say any more on that. But Yaz, before you disappear, have you been thinking about your driver of the meeting?
I haven't, but now that I have, I will give it to someone who because he had to pass. Oh, as you said, there was a multi 21 in action there. It's gonna have to go to Arno Shananya for what should have been a third place. But playing the team game and taking fourth, that would have been a really good result, a third place for Arno. But even so, a fourth place is a good finish for him.
Excellent. So, well, thanks for your time tonight, Yaz.
Yep.
I hope you managed to dig your way out of the doghouse for tomorrow, and we will see you next time out.
Thank you very much. Cheers, everybody.
Okay, Sam, so let's get these interviews underway and bring in our GT4 winner, Wobbly Kneecaps. Welcome to the booth.
Thanks, Clark.
So let's have a little recap on what it looked like. So it seemed as though Jamie Wilson had some fantastic pace, along with, I must say, Stefan Goebel and Chris Shaw. but Jamie managed to give himself too much curb and lose the car, and you ran away with it. However, I suspect that maybe you was holding back in the first half of the race and then let loose in the second.
Yeah, it was basically the plan. I told the guys, and I was looking in the mirror. Jamie had pace today, and I was taking it really safe because I obviously spun off like 6 times in quali and in practice on the chicane. And I was just keeping, I was just fuel saving the whole first stint, and did a couple of fast laps to keep on pulling away and keep the gap. But to be fair, Jamie was quicker than I expected, and it was fun to have someone near. Even though I was holding back, it was fun. I mean, I could not. We went side by side like 2 or 3 corners, which was cool as well. So, well, the first part was really fun, and then I knew I was gunning it a bit more in the second part because I knew I had to overpace over the guys, but was still cool.
And we did say during the commentary that you seem to have Lady Luck on your side with the traffic. You just seem to catch it in the right place every lap.
Yeah, I actually planned that. To be honest, I did. While I was in practice, I knew how far I could be behind someone, like on TCR, and gap them on the back straights. So I was holding off at certain points and coming back towards them. So I was basically timing where I encountered them.
Okay. Well, like I said, another win in GT4 for you. Any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Yeah, to the guys in Discord, it was fun having them there. Rob, Pete, Gary, JB. I'm probably forgetting someone. I don't know. Anyway, and Jamie as well for giving me a good race, and the TCRs for being so patient with me when I'm coming by and just lunching in.
Okay, well, in that case, like I say, congratulations on another win, and we'll catch you next time out.
Cool, mate.
Okay, so let's bring in our TCR winner, Spencer McCarthy. Welcome to the booth.
Hello, hello.
Hello. So another win, but as with all races around Knockhill, well earned.
It was, yes, it was eventful. I mean, I'd seem to. There's a lot of deja vu around here. I mean, that's a lot of laps, isn't it? 70 laps.
It's just a sprint race, mate.
It was like the chances that you were going to hit that chicane wrong at some point in 70 times of trying it. It was quite high, I think.
Oh, we see that a number of times with the GT4s.
Indeed. It was all right. It was good. I mean, it was, yeah, the traffic was as it was. I think everyone seemed to manage that really well tonight. Well, I didn't see, obviously, up where I was, it was fine. I didn't see all the melee, but yeah, no, me and Sam didn't really have much of a game plan, to be honest, this time. It's not really a track that I don't think you can gain a hell of a lot from drafting, because you can't really see where you're going if you're in second place anyway, so you're kind of limited anyway. So as much as you could try and sit behind the save, you were probably burning your tyres more because you weren't hitting your optimal lines everywhere. So yeah, we worked out quite early on that probably wasn't going to be one of those tracks where we changed tyres, because they weren't really getting that hot and they weren't really wearing that much. So you couldn't. I think you could save something like 8 or 9 seconds by not taking them. So that was the game plan. I think everyone kind of took that. We just seemed to stay clear of the traffic best we could and gain that advantage, I think.
Yeah, there's not really any surprises with the tactics, is there, in the league race, because you guys are all racing together in the officials, and I suppose you know people work out what's for the best in the official and then bring those tactics into the league race.
Yeah. I think maybe you need to change the league race to Tuesday at midnight. Oh, sorry, no, Monday at midnight, and then
Yeah,
no one will
yeah.
have a chance to work out what's going on. No, I haven't managed to do an official yet. I know that some of the guys have, but I did do actually a complete fuel stint here, which was the first time I've done that level of practice for any league race so far this season. Just because I felt like I needed to learn the track because it was a bit new to me.
Yeah, well, the talk of the town is the officials have been absolutely horrendous this week, but luckily, we have a different class of driver in this league, and just watching it was an absolutely fantastic race. So well done to you and all the drivers for putting on a show week in, week out. It's not a one-off, is it? It's like this every week now.
Yeah, I mean, you can just tell from the qualifying. I mean, and even the fastest laps now. You got a 51.3. Right up to everyone's done 51.6s or 51.5s, 51.7s. It's so close around here because it's such a short track. So it was really. You had to be in the right place in qualifying, just to give yourself a good sort of chance for the race. So, yeah, we try and put on a good show. Try and be as close as we can. I must admit, following Sam in the first few laps of the race, he was being a bit erratic. I thought, in his braking areas. I wasn't telling him so, but it was kind of like 1 minute he'd kind of going deep, and the next minute he'd brake early, and it was catching me out, and Simon, and Steve, a little bit behind me. So. Yeah, when I saw a gap, an opportunity to go, and obviously Stephen punted him, I thought I'd have a clear track in front of me.
Excellent. Well, like I say, congratulations on another win. Any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Just for the whole setup, really. You and Sam, thanks a lot I watched the broadcast back later on. I didn't get a chance to watch it while I was racing tonight because it was a bit busy around this track. I watched it last time at Silverstone. But yeah, I'll watch it back later. Thanks very much.
Excellent. Well, we'll see you next time out at Hockenheim.
Thank you.
So our TCR winner there, Spencer McCarthy. So next up, let's bring in our second place GT4 driver. And do we need to rename you Jamie Lucky Wilson?
Well, it was unlucky to start with, so it kind of neutraled itself out, didn't it?
Yes and no. It's funny how it happens sometimes, isn't it? You're trundling along in second place. Wobbly's disappearing into the distance because he's being really boring. You make a mistake, you drop back down the field, and then everybody in front of you decides to throw it off the track as well.
Yeah, I'd like to think I was setting an example to Chris as to how to spin there.
But yeah, it's we know what this track is like because of the V8 action we had round here. It's busy, isn't it? There is no hiding, there is no resting. It's a full-on hour where you earn every position you get on that leaderboard.
Yeah, I'm only just getting my breath back now. It was just crazy intense. Because the BMW is quite a hard car to drive, and I run strong force feedback. I've got pretty mega pedals and stuff, so it's a bit of a workout to get it around any track, let alone that one.
Yeah, it's obviously we see you get too much of the curb when you lost the car. It is one of those tracks, isn't it, that you could do that. Well, how many laps did we do? 71 laps, 70 laps, something like that. You can do 69 laps perfectly, and the one time you get it wrong, there is no forgiveness.
But more than that, because digging through our sort of central database thing that we've got, I've done 272 laps of that particular combination, and I've had that happen on two of them, both in the race. One of them was just a little whoops and gone wide a little bit. And the second one was the one where it took the second bounce. But yeah, so 1 out of 272 is my rate for binning it there.
Well, that's not a bad hit rate, is it? So, second place, I suppose, in the end was the best you could have hoped for. We spoke to Wobbly. His tactic was keep everything under control in the first half of the race and then let loose in the second. Without that spin, do you think you would have had anything for him?
No, I would have needed some sort of interaction with traffic and someone winning a tenner probably. But my objective when he was trying to sort of play it safe and he was fuel saving and everything, my objective at that time was just to pester him and be as annoying as possible. In the hope that it forces a mistake or something like that. In terms of outright pace, I think I was okay, but he just had an extra, 0.3 in the tank he could pull out at any time. And also the way that he was generating that pace was, a lot of it was on the straights. I think I was probably matching him through the twisty stuff, but on the 2 straights, the BMW's just not great. Or just on traction and that kind of thing. Even against TCRs, are struggling to get past them until like the second half of the straight. So yeah, he always had. It was always going to be the second place at best, unless, as I say, some other interaction happened.
So, one final question. How many times did you shit your pants when you saw it was Bingham, the next person to overtake?
I didn't actually. I just wasn't. He didn't afford that much attention.
Well, watch the broadcast, mate, because he was in front of the TCR leaders and threw his car off the track to get out of the way.
Oh right,
okay.
Nice and charitable.
Okay.
The traffic was really, really good, I thought.
It was. We were saying at the start of the race, it's going to go one way or the other. We have got a different class of driver in this series, and long may it continue. And we just get a show every week, and it doesn't matter if it's a Knockhill where there could be loads of action, or a Silverstone where it could be absolutely, totally and utterly boring. You guys put on that show for us every week. We appreciate it. I know the drivers appreciate it because they keep telling us how much they enjoy it, and I'm sure the viewers do. But before we let you go, any shout outs you want to give?
Yep, yourselves as usual. Wobbly and Spencer for both being boring and winning. And not Simon for no particular reason.
Not Simon for not joining the series this season.
Oh yeah, there you go. That'll do.
You go.
I don't need a reason to anti-thank him, but
no, we can come up with a different reason every week. Don't worry, mate. Well, congratulations on your second place, and we'll see you next time out.
Cheers, guys.
Okay, so next up we have our second place TCR driver, and that is Mr. Sam Blees. And where has his camera gone?
It turns off when you move me. Hang on.
Oh, mate, come on, get it on. It's the first time I've actually been able to see people and talk to them at the same time.
There you go.
So, fantastic qualifying first off.
Eventually, yeah. It took about 10 minutes to get a valid lap in, I think, or one that was not half a second off the pace. But then,
So lots of off tracks then in qualifying, was there?
Yeah, I sort of got the first lap in and I've got a banker, and then I just absolutely launched it over the chicane about 6 times in a row, going, it's got to work one of these times, and ended up in the sandpit 6 times in a row. So I had to
go. So lesson learned there.
Yeah, drive more sensibly.
And then, obviously leading the race from the start, your teammate managed to get past Lucky Walker fairly quickly. With the championship battle looking like in reality it's between you and your teammate, are you getting to that stage like tonight where you're like, bloody hell, Walker, why couldn't you have kept him behind you?
I mean, if someone wants to approach me privately, there are financial incentives available for tactical crashes at the moment. Yeah, no, it was it was a good start, and then I did a good lap at the start, and I wanted to then keep the pace quite slow for a while, so nobody had the tyres were fresh and the track was cool, so nobody was able to beat the fastest lap and take those points away. And that worked. I think I did get the fastest lap, but in doing that, I messed up the chicane, and that mistake. Spencer was past me, and then he made 0 mistakes from then on in, and it was just done. I couldn't do anything about him, unfortunately.
Yeah, it looked tasty the last couple of laps. We was, sort of, in my head, Lucky Walker was in third, and you have a go at Spencer. You both take each other out. Lucky Walker comes through for the win, and everyone goes, "Well, yeah, that's about normal." But we could see you was pushing because you ended up on a bit of a weird line at one point, which opened up that gap a little bit again, and then it was basically all over. But there's still. What are we, round 9? We've got 3 more races to go. There's still a lot of points on the table. It's definitely not over, is it?
I think there's only 3 points between us after this.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's still right there. Yeah, you're absolutely right. On the penultimate lap, I was a bit greedy on the throttle coming out the final corner, caught the grass, and then he had a second, and it was done. It was over. But before that, I do think I was a bit quicker for the last 5 laps, but it's so difficult to pass unless you can force a mistake. Unless you've got a big pace advantage, you just don't get past here. So it was a good race. It was good fun. But
Yeah, well, you've certainly earned yourself a rest and a drink, mate. So
I'm on it. I'm on it.
Yeah, well done. That was a good workout. And before we let you go, any shout-outs you want to give?
Just thanks to the entire GT4 field for being a million times more competent than everybody in officials. And in fact, the entire TCR field as well. And then, Spencer and Stephen in particular, really good racing today. It was really good fun. Thanks to you guys for hosting, as always. And I look forward to watching the stream back, I don't know, later in the week when I've got time. But thank you very much. And on to the next one.
Excellent. Well, congratulations on your second place, Sam Blees. We'll see you next time out.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Okay, so we did have Chris Needham in the booth for a little while, in the waiting room for a little while, but he seems to have disappeared. So let's go straight to our third place TCR driver, Mr. Lucky Walker himself. Welcome to the booth.
Hello.
So, second place in qualifying, jumped fairly quickly by Spencer. You're gonna have to do something about these two geodesic guys, aren't you?
Yeah, I thought qualifying second it might help, but just as it went green and Sam went, I just before that lifted up because I didn't want to pass him, like get in front of him, and so he timed it. He couldn't have timed it any better if he tried. Like he could do that 100 times and get it, like wouldn't get it the same 99 times. But so obviously they got the jump, and then I was like just trying to sit there. I wanted to make a move, but it's just too dangerous. Had I been in second, I probably would have made a move and tried to keep the pace a bit quicker, just to break things up a little bit. But I decided just to sit and play, obviously, the waiting game and see if I could do something a little bit different.
Yeah, and towards the end of the race, especially the last couple of laps, those two had a bit of a gap on you, and then they started to battle each other. At which point, I'm presuming you'd wished you'd put your lucky underpants on, because then they would have taken each other out and you would have come home for another win, but it wasn't to happen.
Yeah, my only hope was traffic, or they started battling, because we were pretty much the same pace. One lap, I think I'd be a tenth quicker, and then the next lap, they'd be a tenth or 2 tenths quicker. So it was just yo-yoing backwards and forwards. Had there been like no traffic or anyone else, it would have just been like that till the end of the race, I think. So I was hoping, I didn't think they would battle until maybe the last couple of laps, but then I think 3 or 4 GT4s came through, and that just caught me up a couple of seconds, or let me get back a couple of seconds, sorry. But again, we were pretty much the same pace, so there was no catching them with once that gap was there, especially when they were close and they had that toe down the 2 slightly long straights. I know it's not a lot, but it's just enough to keep them just ahead, unfortunately.
Yeah, and obviously that gap that they did manage to get on you, that stopped you trying another push to pass.
Well, because we were going into that corner all throughout the first part of the race, and obviously they were fuel saving, so sometimes it would just catch me out a little bit, and then I think Sam might have made an error coming out of the second to last corner. So Spencer got the run. He covered the inside, and I was like, I know where to go. And then the breakers, I was worried about the inside. Just cut it out. So I just let off to make sure I didn't gain any advantage out of it. I don't want to pass anyone that way. If I can help it at all, because I don't like that. But yeah, it's just unfortunate. It's one of them things. And then just tried to make the most after that. That basically made my mind up that I was going to pit as soon as Wobbly was right up behind us.
Well, to be honest, mate, that wasn't a bad tactic. You know, people get fed up with me banging on about doing something different. And before the pit stop cycle even started, you know, my question was, is somebody going to pit early rather than lose time with the GT4s coming through? And you gave it a go. Ultimately, it didn't work, but you know, if you do the same as everybody else, you're going to finish the same as everybody else. So I personally commend you for trying something different.
Thanks, I appreciate it, Clive. That's a lot coming from you.
Well, there you go. You know, I am known as the grumpy old git, so it's not very often that people get praise. But seriously, you know, these geodesic boys are going to take some stopping, aren't they? What can you do? Is it more practice? Do you need a bit of luck? You know, what can you do to get up there and claim some more wins?
I think it is just luck, because they're either faster than me or we're on the same. Like, if there's a track that suits me a bit better, we tend to just be on the same pace. I don't think there's been any tracks this season where obviously I've been quicker. Obviously, particularly for the first part of the season, I was still getting to grips with the car a little bit. And they're just really good. You know, they're good guys. They're great racers, and they're just quick. There's always someone quicker, as I say to anyone that says, "Oh, you're quick," and I'm like, "No, there's always someone quicker." And I think it's just a case of that. I have no problem racing them, losing to them. Sometimes just once beating them. I just think it's a case of just getting my head down, trying to stay out of trouble, trying to, like at Silverstone last week, trying to get the battle going a bit earlier, just trying to break things up if I can help it. Just so for the first half of the race, it's not always the fuel saving thing that it's always in the back of the mind. Well, is this going to happen? Is this going to happen? Throw, like you say, just try something a bit different, because that's the only thing I've got. I've got nothing to lose. I'm fucking fourth in the championship. So I got quite a lot of incident points today, so that wouldn't have helped me either. But it's just great fun racing them. Like, you know, when there's always someone quicker, you tend to try and push yourself, and it does take you up a level. The rest of the guys have gone up a level as well, you can tell. So it's just great fun.
No thoughts about going back to the trusty Audi?
No.
You know, you was dominant in that car last season. I know it was the only car, but you know, you're saying you're still getting used to this car. Is it sometimes better the devil you know?
I'd say because they changed the tyres and a bit of the ABS, I think the Audi wouldn't be the same anyway. Like, I have driven it with the changes and it still feels fine. I like to try something different. Like, I might even try the Honda next season. I don't know, to be honest. I never change cars in the middle of a season. Like, I'll stick with what I've got, but I'll just drive them again and see how it feels before we sign up next time, and then take it from there.
Yeah, well, next time you won't be able to change cars because we're going to fine you 1,000,000 points because it keeps screwing up Sam's website. So, but you know, ultimately, another fantastic show by all the drivers put on for us and the viewers, and I'm sure when the drivers watch the stream back, they'll appreciate just what they've done tonight. So congratulations on that. Any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Yeah, obviously you guys putting on the show. It's always great to watch it back. I'm looking forward to watching this one. There's some great battles, like you say, down up and down the field. The rest of my team, I think Shane had one of his best races of the season, finishing fourth. Matt, I think, was fifth. Russ was doing okay as well. He was up there. We're all pretty much a similar pace, so they've pushed on a bit. So yeah, and the other guys in the league for racing really good and really clean. It's been brilliant. I'm enjoying it.
Excellent. Well, like I say, congratulations on your podium finish. Stephen Walker, we'll see you next time out.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Okay, Sam. So that is our interviews over. It's always busy round Knockhill. But these drivers, I'm going to say I've been banging on about it for a little while. They showed their class tonight, didn't they? There wasn't too much in the way of incident.
Yeah, I'm disappointed. I was expecting crashes all over the place, and apart from Pete, nothing really happened. So, well, thanks to Pete for showing us a great crash.
Well, we can always rely on Pete, can't we?
Yeah, obviously, as you said, the drivers are probably one of the best and the cleanest we've got, which is great. It shows today. A track like 50 seconds. You will have passes between classes, and it went very well. So, all good.
Excellent. So it's now time for me to put you on the spot and ask you for your driver of the meeting. We've already had a vote from Yaz for Arnaud Chenonnier, who could have finished third, but it ended up with a multi-21 to give his teammate Chris Needham third place and some extra points in the championship. So who's your driver, Sam?
Well, today's, I think, even more complicated because they probably almost all deserve a vote. I will pick the one that's got the biggest gap from himself to the other ones, even if he's got a big head. I'm gonna give it to Wobbly this time.
Thank God for that. When you said big head, I thought you was going to vote for Bingham. Whew,
well, yeah, he had also a big gap, but not in the correct way.
Right, so a vote for wobbly kneecaps from Sam. I am going to give my vote to somebody that Stephen Walker just mentioned there in his interview. Somebody that managed a fantastic finish. Somebody who I've been saying is extremely close to being up there week in, week out. And this week actually proved that he can do it. So my vote is going to go to Mr. Shane Powell. So let me just update that. That's this evening done and dusted. What have we got coming up for you in the next 7 days? So on Saturday, hopefully we are back in 992 challenge mode with the Porsches from Silverstone. Hopefully we get enough drivers to make a race of it. Then on Sunday, we are back with the final race of the season in the much loved, much fun BSTV Truck Series. So we've got the NASCAR trucks racing on the road course that is Sonoma. And then next Wednesday, as we said before, this series goes to Hockenheim, where they will be racing on the national layout, which is one I'm not sure we've done before, but that's bound to be very, very good. Apart from that, big congratulations to all the drivers tonight again for the fantastic show that they put on, not just this week but week in, week out, and especially this week because of the tightness and trickiness of the track. Thanks to Sam and Yaz. Hope Yaz is still alive and he hasn't been battered too much yet. But thanks to both of those guys for joining me tonight and making this broadcast possible. Thanks to all of our viewers, those that watch it live and those that watch it back at a later date. Obviously, this is why we do it. It is for you guys and girls. So keep watching. Keep giving these videos a like. Make sure you have subscribed to our YouTube channel if you haven't already, and make sure you follow us on Facebook. That way you never miss any of the action. For those that watch and think, do you know what, I wouldn't mind a go at that, you know where we are. Get on the website, get signed up. Plenty of spaces on the grid. You too could be part of this fantastic series or one of our other fantastic series. So it's time to close the broadcast. I should say goodnight. Let Sam say goodnight. And then we will disappear, and you can all go to bed and have some peace and quiet. So thanks to everybody again. Make sure you all stay safe, and we'll see you next time out. So good night from me.
And good night from me. See you all next time.